taxi driver.
Oh, he'll be epitome of gloom if you ask me. I know I tell you taxi drivers are supposed to talk at you non-stop, but he's the wildest exception I've ever come across. Not a word the whole journey. Perhaps his mother just died.
He didn't even take the fare.
Why not?
I have no idea. Simply took the bags out of the back, talked to the driver's seat, and drove off without a word.
Maybe he was feeling generous. Or perhaps his mother-in-law just died.
Jennifer.
Probably cost the package, I suppose.
What?
The package, darling. The price of the holiday. All-inclusive, yes?
Yes, I suppose that must be it.
There you are, then. We shan't need any taxis anymore. When's the rental car coming?
First thing in the morning.
Why don't you take the cases up to the bedroom?
Where is it?
I believe it's upstairs, darling. That's how houses are usually laid out, even in Italy. We are in luck.
There were 2 bedrooms upstairs. I don't know which one you prefer. I put the cases in the first one.
You mean we have a choice? I'm beginning to like this place more and more. Pour me a drink, would you, darling? We can have a row and sleep in separate rooms. Just like home. Cheers. Cheers. Do you notice anything strange about the cocktail bar?
No, I didn't expect anything to be laid on.
But darling, I drink Dubonnet. You drink bourbon. Now they just happen to be laid on. Now isn't that nice? What did you do? Give the travelers a rundown on our personal drinking habits?
Of course not. There are other drinks besides. Irish whiskey, Perrier, apple juice. Rather an odd collection, I must say. All part of the package, I suppose.
More likely known as by the bleeding sockets. Maybe they had a party. Everybody drank the Scotch, gin and vodka and left the rest. Must have been wild.
Why do you say that?
Well, obviously they didn't invite any Irishmen, teetotalers, bored housewives, or failed TV executives.
It can be very cruel sometimes.
My darling, you've been sacked by 2 television companies to date. That hardly qualifies you to be businessman of the year.
As I've already told you, I'm working on a few projects. One in particular could prove highly lucrative.
Lucrative for whom? You or the other party?
May we change the subject, please?
No, I don't think I will. I want to know more about this mysterious business partner of yours. A Greek shipping tycoon, I think he said. I mean, who is he?
A Greek shipping tycoon.
Very droll, darling, very droll. But what's his name?
Coyne.
Oh, yes, Coyne. And why does he want to back one of your tin pot schemes? Got money to burn, has he?
It's not a tin pot, and it is not one of my schemes. It's entirely his idea.
Brian, you're being taken for a ride again.
Not a bit of it. It's a very sound business deal. Something with recording video films. There are advantages on both ends. My end in particular will prove very profitable.
Really? So when do we get to meet him?
As I've told you, on Friday in Rome.
But why do I have to go? Why can't I stay here?
He particularly wanted to meet you.
Why?
I have no idea. He's very insistent upon it, though I didn't think he'd mind.
Well, I do.
Well, look. Jenny came along on this vacation to try and patch up our marriage. Find out if there's anything left to patch up. Not doing so well so far, are we, though? Well, let's forget about my work or lack of it and try and... Well, I was going to say enjoy ourselves, but perhaps it's being a bit too optimistic. Well, how about some food? That airline crew was appalling. You ate even less than I did. You must be starving. Freezer's fully stocked. I had a look.
Brian, are you sure we can afford all this? This place must be costing far more than you're letting on. We are up to our eyes in debt already, you know.
We can afford.
At the moment, we can't afford anything.
Now look, as soon as this deal gets off the ground, profits will more than cover the price of this trip in the first week.
What profits?
All right, you might as well know. Conicus is paying for all this. Plane tickets, the villa, everything. The taxi too, I suppose. Well, it's his villa. He owns it. It was sort of a bonus, you know.
Oh, Brian. Brian, how can you be so blind? If he's laying out all this money, can't you see? He must be priming you with something.
Look, leave it to me. Trust me. I know what I'm doing.
I don't know.
Well, how about that food, eh?
Okay. Brian, I'm sorry. I don't know what I did to her. Force of habit, I suppose. What a horrible thing to have to admit.
Someone wants to make the lights on. Oh, I'm sorry, I must have the wrong house.
Can we help you?
Well, I'm not sure. I thought this was a Villa Romana.
This is Villa Romana.
Ah, yes, well, I suppose it must be, mustn't it?
There's nothing wrong.
Well, I'm not sure. These people seem...
Were you expecting someone else?
No, quite the opposite, really. We weren't expecting to find anyone. See, we just arrived on holiday. Well, we rented this villa for 2 weeks or so, we thought.
But you said...
I know what I said.
This is a Via Benario, isn't it?
Yes, this is the Via Benario, and this is the Villa Romana. I'm afraid you made a terrible mistake. This villa is privately owned, and to my knowledge, it's never been rented out as a holiday let.
I'm sure we can sort this out, Brian. Would either of you care for a drink?
No, thank you. We don't drink alcohol, that is.
Oh, we do have some apple juice. That would be lovely, thank you. How about you, Mr...
Oh, I'm sorry. Lacey, name's David Lacey. Corinne, my wife.
Brian Stevens, my wife Jennifer.
Hello, how do you do? Mr. Lacey?
No, thank you. I only drink mineral water.
Really? Perrier?
Yes, if you have some.
Oh, yes. We have some, all right.
Well, perhaps I didn't make myself clear before. We were lent this villa by a friend of mine. Well, he's rather a business associate. He owns it.
Would you mind if I asked you his name?
Well, I'd rather not, if you don't mind. It's a matter of professional confidentiality. You know how it is.
Yes, I'm afraid I don't know how it is.
What my husband means, Mrs. Stevens, he was given the use of this villa as a bribe.
Please.
Well, it's the truth, isn't it?
It's not like that door, really. It's really a token of thanks for...
For services rendered.
Well, you know how it is.
Mr. Lacey. Tell me, Mr. Lacey, this business acquaintance of yours, does his name by any chance happen to be Conicus?
How did you know that?
Oh, just a wild guess.
Tell me, do you have a car outside?
No, we came by taxi. They bring us a rental car sometime tomorrow. Brian, darling! I've suddenly had a ghastly headache. I think I'm going to lay down for a bit. It might be a good idea if you and Mr. Lacey try to contact Mr. Conicus, don't you think? Perhaps he can explain what the hell is going on. Hang on in there, generator. By the way, do feel free to stay the night if you wish. We have a spare bedroom upstairs. Our patron think we'd send you out for the night. Do excuse me.
No, Mr. Conicus?
Would you excuse me for a moment? You help yourself to some drinks if you wish.
Oh God, this is all we need.
That's a blood, don't like that.
Not ashamed.
Not ashamed, it's not a bribe. I'm really thankful for the help and advice I was able to give him.
That still amounts to corruption in my opinion.
Nobody thinks it's your opinion if you to keep it yourself. Don't want the whole world to know.
Why not? Also innocent.
Because it can be easily misconstrued. The counsels of your movement, I would have lost my job.
I know.
So no more outbursts in the future then, please. I do wonder whether it's too fit in.
Perhaps he's another corrupt local council.
part of Conicus' organization.
Just what is his organization?
I'm not sure, but he's got a lot of fingers and a lot of parts from I can make out.
Well, it would appear our Mr. Conicus is, shall we say, double booked his bill for the evening. Do you know where we could contact him on the telephone, that is?
No, I didn't think I'd have any reason to.
Yes, quite. I wasn't expecting to meet him until Friday.
Oh, for 3 days. How unfortunate.
Yes, isn't it?
Well, what do you propose we do?
Well, there's nothing we can do. I suggest we sleep on it. In the morning, I'll ring London, see if I can find out where Conicus is. Perhaps you can do the same. Good. Well, if you care to unpack, I suggest we take the bedroom at the end of the corridor upstairs.
Thank you.
By the way, what's he like? Conicus is a man of me.
You've never met him?
No, so far we've had a business deal going, but it's all been done by correspondence.
I see.
You still haven't answered my question.
My husband has never met him either. It was all done through a middleman, agent in England.
Oh well, it's not important anyway. More company. Will you excuse me?
Excuse me, signor.
Yeah, how do you? Sorry, I don't speak Italian.
Oh, you're English. My car is just broken it down. May I use your telephone?
Yes, I suppose so. Come in.
Grazie. Oh, excuse me, signora. I apologize, but my car has, how do you say, a flat tire, 2 flat tires. Glass all across the road, and I have not enough time to replace, so I come and use your telephone.
It's in the hall there. The hall.
Grazie, signora.
Would any of you care for any food? The breeze is fully stocked.
Thank you.
Excuse me, signor, but your telephone is not working.
What?
There is nothing. Well, here, let me try. This is most unfortunate. There is no other. Long way to next village. Possible you could have driven me in.
I'm sorry, we have no transport. Perhaps you can flag down another car.
There is no traffic on this road, signor. The road is finished at the top of the hill.
I mean, it's dead end.
Signor?
Oh, never mind.
What are you doing here? If you don't mind my asking.
Oh, my business, I sell houses. I have an appointment with a customer at the village at the top of the hill. It is for sale. But he no arrived, so I leave again, and then I hit the glass on the road near here. He's good for me. You are at home.
Yes, wasn't it?
It's dead, all right. The coal's been ripped out of the door.
I wonder how that could happen. Well, it would appear you're stranded here, at least for the moment, Mr.
Oh, please, call me Franco.
May I get you something to drink? I'm afraid we can't offer you much.
Thank you, no. I have a weakness, only for whiskey. Irish whiskey, and hangover from my days in England.
We do have whiskey, and pour you a glass.
You are most kind, senor, but no, at the moment, no thank you.
Tell me, Mrs. Lacey, do you drink apple juice often?
Quite a lot, yes, I happen to like it.
That's what I thought you'd say.
Why do you ask?
Well, when my wife and I arrived here, there were 5 bottles on the cocktail cabinet. Only 5. Bourbon, Dubonnet, Irish whiskey, Perrier, and apple juice. Well, I drink bourbon, my wife drinks Dubonnet. As for the rest, it would appear someone in the 5 of us would be here this evening. Wanted us to feel quite at home.
It's a coincidence.
Really? Franco, this customer of yours, did he leave his name?
Oh, see, I have it here, senor. Is, Signor Conicus.
Still a coincidence, Mr. Lacey.
If you'll excuse me, I'll take our case.
Did you speak to him personally?
No, my secretary, she's speaking.
I'm beginning to feel disheartened.
I felt a damn sight more than that since I came in here.
Something is wrong.
Yes. Quite what, though? I'm not altogether sure.
So you know this is Signor Conicus.
Well, I thought we did. Now I'm not so sure any of us know him at all.
David?
The front door was ajar. There was a dead fox lying on the front step. This dagger was right.
What's that paper?
This was Alexander's writing on it.
Confess your sins and you will be saved. KX.
What does it mean?
I've no idea.
Here, let me see. Looks like some kind of biblical quotation. Confess your sins and you will be saved. KX. Book of Kings, chapter 10, something like that?
I don't think so. The X is underneath the K.
I don't wish to frighten you, but the animal with its stomach slit open, end to end.
Well, an X or a cross in letter writing means a kiss, does it not?
So?
K on a kiss. Conicus.
Oh, now, come on.
No.
I hardly think so.
Maybe not. Yes.
I'm going upstairs. You coming, Coyne?
I'll be along.
This is almost strange and perhaps better removed from outside.
Yes, thank you.
Do you think...
Right now, I don't think anything, Mrs. Lacey. Would you mind if I asked you what you meant when you said your husband was lent this villa as
As a bribe? Because that's exactly what it is. Back in England, David is the chairman of the planning committee of the City Council. They're going to go to the civic center. The contract is out to tender. Connie has put in a bid. David has a lot of influence over the final decision.
See, and you don't approve.
I do not.
Yes, well, Conicus has lent us this villa too. But I don't think by any stretch of the imagination it can be considered a bribe. Incentive, perhaps, but incentive to what? I'm beginning to wonder.
Mr. Stevens, I'm sorry, but it's your wife.
Is she alright?
I stepped into your room by mistake. She's not breathing.
What?
She's not breathing. I've no pulse. She's dead, Fred. She's dead.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. You think I made a mistake about something like that?
What does it have to mean?
I don't know. The lady upstairs. I don't
Don't
know.
you think you should have gone with him?
Usual case, alright, go.
But how? Why?
How am I supposed to know?
You mean she was murdered?
Look, I don't know, I tell you. I went to the room. She was lying on the bed. Her eyes were open. She had a pillow over her face. She had a contorted expression on her. She must have suffocated. I don't know.
Why, who? We must do something. Can't we call the police?
The phone isn't working.
We can't just stand here. We must go and get help.
What do you propose we do? Walk 10 miles to the next villa with no car? It's pitch black out there.
There must be another house nearby.
There's not one since we left the main road.
What then?
We just have to wait till daylight. There's nothing else we can do. Oh God, when the newspapers get over, it's all been ruined.
Is that all you can think about?
But right now, that seems to me to be the most important consideration.
What about the note from Conquest? Confess your sins and you will be saved. Poor Mrs. Stevens wasn't safe, was she?
What is that supposed to mean?
Maybe if she had confessed her sins, whatever they may have been, she'd be standing here right now.
Don't be stupid.
You think that's stupid? What makes you so sure you're going to be around if you ruin, my darling? If I were you, I'd start confessing your sins and fast.
Come.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
See, Signor. The Signor, he's in a state of a shock, perhaps some strong drink. The lady upstairs, she has been, how do you say?
Yes, you know.
See. Signor, it would appear we can do nothing tonight. We must wait till the morning after. I suggest, Signora, you go to your room and get some rest. I will stay here with your friend.
Do you think we can sleep after all this happened?
Please, Signora. I think it's best to your friend for he to be left alone. What he needs is peace and quiet. I will stay only to keep an eye on him. Please. Yes, of course. Perhaps I would be for the best. Corinne?
Yes, well, thank you. Thank you.
Drink, Signor. It will make you feel much better. Good. That is very good. It helps to deaden the pain, does it not? Signor.
No, I'm sorry, I thought you were asleep.
Sleep comes easy, Signor.
Yes, I know what you mean. How is Mr. Stevens?
He was restless for some time, but now he sleeps like a baby. How you say? Dead to the world.
Yes, well, my wife and I have been talking. It seems quite obvious that Marcus and for all 5 of us to end up in the secret. The question is why?
I agree, Signor. It is no accident that that occurred tonight. I am sure of that.
So the point is, if that note did come from Marcus, he did from Mr. Stevens, maybe, I know it sounds incredible, but maybe he intends to kill us all.
That thought hasn't occurred to me, Signor.
Well, then you must see, confess your sins and you will be saved. He's obviously trying to tell us something to warn us in advance. If we confess to him, then he won't kill us.
Confess to him? I do not know who he is.
As I just did, nor do we. None of us have ever met him. For what reason the pastor using the name Conicus? What if he's not even Greek, he's using this mysterious name? Somebody we do all know.
But you people are from England. I have not met you before. I live here in Italy.
Yes, did you say something about your time in England?
It's true. I spent 2 years in London as a student many years ago, yes.
Don't you see? He's someone well known back in the UK. Someone from our past that we sinned against, who double us in some way, and now we seek revenge.
It's possible.
There's more than that, I assure you. We have one way out. We confess openly how we wronged him. Then he shall spare us. Confess your sins and you will be saved.
But how can we do that? We do not know who he is or what we did.
Well, we must think fast. Everybody will come over and over. Come on, let's wait.
He needs rest, Signor.
And listen, if we don't come up with Conicus' destroy identity, one of us will be taking a longer rest than you bargained for.
You're right.
Yes. Mr. Stevens, right? Oh my God, he's cold as ice.
Mamma mia.
What?
Almonds, did he smell the almonds? Cyanide.
Oh my God. Excuse me, I thought I had my wife coming downstairs. Well,
Oh, hell! Corinne! Angela! Angela! Okay, we'll have to call a halt here, Pam. Angela is off. You hear me, Pam?
Hi.
Just relax there. We'll take it again from the top once you get here.
Yes, Frank.
Try and find Angela, will you, Pam? She has missed her entrance again. And Pam, leave the crossword for the minute, will you?
So sorry.
Well, I suppose I might as well give a few notes, seeing that we've ground to a halt. And, Pam, bend the lights up again, would you please?
Okay.
Thanks. Okay, where were we? Scene 1.
Mind if I get up?
Not at all. It's a moment to play it better than you.
did you have to employ that woman?
I know how you feel, Derek, and I'm sorry. Okay, we're stuck with her. She's a good actress when she tries.
Yeah, when she tries.
Okay, where were we? Scene 1. Okay, first of all, you're all rusty just a bit. But enjoy it. Give it time. There's a lot that happens that first scene, and I don't want the audience missing any of the important parts. So just let the plot unfold naturally.
What plot?
Just pass that on to the girls, will ya? Martin, you are making Brian too sinister, guy. He's coming across guilty as hell at the moment. You're going to have that audience thinking that you're Conicus.
That's what I want them to think.
Too much. It's way too much. Just tone it down a bit, okay?
These lights, honestly, flickering gremlins. We gotta do something about that. Where's that damn lighting board?
Back there.
Thanks.
I don't know why I took this job anyway. I could be sitting at home, watching TV, collecting welfare or something.
Why is it that actors are so utterly depressed when they're out of work, yet they're the first to complain when they get a job?
Just It's the nature of the breed, dear boy.
No, well, I don't mind admitting I'm grateful for any work these days.
Not exactly a big time, though, is it? Only 10 rehearsals with one performance. I mean, do we even know what's going to be out there yet?
No, just the author and a few of his friends according to Frank.
Yeah, I wonder if he's invited any big Broadway producers.
Yeah, you never know your luck. I wouldn't think they'd touch it, though. It's not that good of a play.
You got that right. You must be worth a penny or two. Country house like this.
Doesn't seem to use it much, though. This place is deserted. Must come here for weekends.
Oh, weekend country cottage. How nice.
Yes, a spot of fishing that strode around the stage.
Right with a good lunch.
Debutante's fatigue.
Crumpets for tea.
Same thing. No, he can have his own little fringe theater here.
Fringe theater?
Why not?
You're right. This place so far on the fringe falls off the edge.
Is this a private party or can anybody join?
Angela's done a disappearing act again.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah. Well, this Ray will still be doing this church and dress rehearsal while Ledwood takes a seat in the royal box.
Perhaps he's already out there. Yoo-hoo, Mr. Ledwood! Are you there? It's me, Kate Brotherston, star of the show. I can do a quick can-can while we're waiting if you like.
Okay, guys, that is enough, right?
Yes, sir. Sorry, Mr. Director, sir.
Ooh, be careful, Katie might be listening.
I don't care, and I'm sure our nice Mr. Ledwood doesn't mind. After all, he is paying us to entertain for the evening.
Kate, sometimes you can be so...
Embarrassing? Yes, I know. Isn't it fun? Martin, what on earth have you done to yourself?
Oh, this. Makeup. I thought I looked like a corpse.
You look positively decomposed. Well, she isn't in her dressing room or the men's dressing room.
You've been doing that all this time?
We went to the bathroom. First night nerves, dear.
Yeah, well, I keep looking if I reach my water off in the house somewhere.
On the lookout for antiques, no doubt. You know what she's like.
May I make a suggestion?
Martin, darling, I thought you were dead. Oh, that's in the play, isn't it? So sorry, do go on.
You're dead too, remember? Unfortunately, that's on the play as well.
Martin, whatever it is you want to say, please say it now and keep these two time.
Well, it would appear to me that we're wasting valuable time. Can't we just cut Amber apart and get on with the rest of the play?
Who wants to work now?
He's right. Give Angela a few more minutes. If she shows up, please give me a call. I'll be taking a look at that lighting board. Probably a loose connection. And Derek, you want to come with me? You know a thing or two about electric, don't you?
Sure, it costs you double time, though. Oh, Frank. By the way, when will you get paid?
Come along, Martin. Let's improve our minds. One prune extremely wrinkled. Was it ready for picking? 6 letters. One prune extremely wrinkled. Sounds like Pamela.
Unright.
Come again?
Unright. It's an anagram of figure 1 and prune.
Anagram, figure 1 and prune.
You write down prune and the figure 1. Mix up all the letters and you get unright.
Clever. Unright, babe. Sounds like me.
More like overripe.
Now, I think I'm very well preserved. Good, clean living, that's what does it. My mother always used to say to me, now remember, Katie, if you're not in bed by 11, come home. The Domino Man by Arthur Ledwood. Yuck, what's that?
What?
The Domino Man.
You mean to tell me we've been rehearsing this play for 10 days and you don't know what the title means?
Darling, more often than not, I speak lines and I don't know what they mean.
The domino is simply a long hooded cloak that people
The
used
thing that Dirk wears at the end of the play, right?
Yes, people used to wear them to mask balls to conceal their identity. So a domino man is simply a man in disguise.
Which is David Lacey, right?
Not exactly. The real domino man is Conicus.
But why?
Because he's not Conicus at all. He's not Greek, he's someone completely different. Man in disguise.
Clever. What do you think of it? As a play, I mean.
It's not a bad little thriller. What about you?
I think it's crummy.
Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, 5 people are lured to a remote Italian villa where they're all done in one by one, until at the end one of them is apparently resurrected and turns out to be the murderer. It's not exactly original, it's straight up Agatha Christie.
It's a crib, yes, but not a straight crib. David Lacey's working for Conicus, who's not really
Conicus at all. My, but how ingenious, it'll run longer than the mousetrap.
And why did you take the job?
I've been out of work for 6 months. Waitressing in Greenwich Village ever since March. Anything to getting away from having my bottom pinched 20 times a day.
I would have thought you'd like that.
Oh, Martin. That's the image I present, I suppose, isn't it? My own fault, really. If the truth were known, I'm not like that at all. Basically, I'm a nice person.
Yes, I believe you.
There's another thing about this Claire. They're all such awful characters. They deserve to get bumped off. I think they should write plays about nice people. Plays should be romantic. 2 people meet and fall in love. They get married and have lots of kids. Go ahead and laugh. That's why I like the old movies, I suppose. I just love sitting curled up on the sofa on a Saturday afternoon, watching Doris Day. You know, when I was a kid. I wanted so much to live there, in the white weather-boarded house, with a white picket fence around the garden, the roses growing up the balcony, and the sky painted permanently blue. I knew it wasn't real. I knew it was only a plywood or what have you. I knew the roses were plastic and the sky was a painted backdrop. But I still want to live there. Do you think that's silly?
No.
So I became an actress. I want to be the next Doris Day. Some actress. It took me 10 years to get into off-Broadway. It was a good play, too. You know how long it ran? 3 weeks. It was a good play. Business was booming. The management took it off after 3 weeks. You know why? They were using it as a tax loss. That's my blood.
Yeah, that's tough. Who is the management?
Howard de la Tour. Who else? The biggest crook in the business. Howard de la Whore, we used to call him. He'd sell anything for money. You ever worked for him?
No.
Don't bother, it's slave labor.
I thought he got out of business, fled the country or something.
Knowing Howard, he'll turn up in Argentina with the production of Bye Bye Birdie. Needless to say, I didn't get the pretty fix. I got an apartment in New York City, down to earth with a bump. And I still say it's a good play. Who's ever heard of an Italian who drinks Irish whiskey?
You've got a point there.
And the note from Conicus, KX, K on a kiss. I mean, really, I've read better riddles on a bathroom wall.
Shouldn't you be looking for Angela?
Me? Why?
Well, we want to get on with rehearsal, don't we?
We've got hours before the curtain goes up, plenty of time.
Even so, we want to.
No, why me? Why not you?
Aren't you supposed to be on stage manager?
Keep it down. Don't remind Frank that I'm on stage manager. You remind him, he will have me making tea all night.
But still.
Still nothing. I do my bit. I work the sound tape, the music cues, the whole of the storm sequence, and Conicus voice at the end.
Confess your sins and you will be saved.
I'll have you know I'm highly efficient at it.
I'm sure you are.
And I still don't see why Pamela could have done it.
She's doing the lighting.
She's capable. She can do both.
Tell me, why do you dislike Derek so much?
Me? Just like Derek? Don't be silly.
But you're always bitching at
Oh, that's just the way we communicate. We score points off each other. Actually, I'm quite fond of him.
Did you know him before this?
No, I knew his wife, though. We worked at summer stock earlier this year. Rebecca, extremely pretty girl. Damn her eyes. I hear tell she's best in sleep. Nobody in the company, but she's always sneaking off to meet this secret beau of hers. She must have been out of her mind.
Why do you say that?
Well, Derek's quite good looking in a way, don't you think?
I wouldn't know.
I think Pamela's got her eye on him.
What, Derek?
Uh-huh.
Hardly think so.
Oh yes, there's more to Miss Pamela Fox than meets the eye.
She spends all of her time pointing it.
Exactly. She's playing hard to get. Go ahead and laugh. Did you see on the way down to the band, she insisted on sitting in the front seat? Why? Because Derek was sitting there.
That's fun because she gets Carson.
Garbage. She's making a play for him. I should know. I've done it often.
Now we get down to the nitty-gritty.
Martin, to wipe that makeup off your face. Gives me the creeps every time I look at you.
Oh, if I say the line like it's written, the whole audience is going to know that it's me who's going to knock everybody off.
Derek, you can't change lines now. Arthur Ledford is going to be in the audience. He'll know you changed.
Give the game away.
Has Angel shown up yet?
No, any sign of Redwood?
We don't know he's cold. I bet he's frightfully attractive.
To you, all rich men are attractive.
What about him, Frank? Is he gorgeous?
You can find that out for yourself tonight, can't you?
He'll probably creep in the back door in the dark and creep out again as soon as the show's over. We'll probably never even know he's been here.
He's paying for the privilege.
How do we know he's going to show up? How do we know he's going to be paid?
You paid me everything in advance. Don't worry, Derek. As soon as that curtain comes down, you'll get your money, we'll give it to you.
Yeah, sooner the better if you ask me.
I don't know. I think it's all rather fun.
Fun? I've had more fun at a funeral.
So why did you take the job? You needed to work as badly as the rest of us. Admit it.
Yeah, admit it. I still think we should have held out for more.
I'm satisfied.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I mean, he should be paying us danger money. It's a danger to our artistic integrity if we're doing such third-rate trash. If he could afford to build a set for one night, he could pay us a fair whack. I mean, yeah, pathetic, yes, but it is a set. Well, time to build like a beach.
Pathetic or not, Pamela and I did the set last weekend.
What, all of it?
No, the set itself is already here. Been here for months by the looks of it, left over from some other play, I guess, but suited our purposes. We made it adaptable. We took a door up over there, gave it a couple coats of paint. All the furniture, we got that in the house.
Ooh, I hope you asked permission.
We were given a free hand.
Yeah, I still say there's something rotten in the state of Denmark.
Now, careful, darling. He might be listening.
Yeah, he's probably 93 years old and stone dead.
We don't want to offend him, Derek, dear. He might not employ us again. Be nice to our Mr. Ledwood. He might ask you to play Dane in his pantomime.
Kid, I know what Frank casting is part. Typecasting to a T.
Don't get bitchy, darling.
Bitchy.
Frank, you didn't typecast me at all, now did you, Frank? Strictly a character performance. Isn't that so, Frank?
I didn't cast you.
You didn't cast me, then who did?
Arthur Ledford.
Well, now, really. I wonder how he knows little old me.
Cast all of you. Pamela as well.
All of us?
Yeah.
But I thought she'd seen me on TV and that's why you wanted me for the part.
No, I thought that might persuade you to take the job. You weren't even all that good, as I remember.
Frank Robinson, you told us a fib.
I've offended you. Hey, I'm sorry. I just didn't want anybody else dropping out. Never assigned a shot. Even through at the last minute. Otherwise, I wouldn't be loved with playing Franco.
Franco Robinsoni. Well, I think your accent's terrific.
Thanks.
Oh, come now, Derek, dear. You've got a fan club at last, albeit with only one member.
No, at least I can say that Ledford has good taste in actors. Too bad the same can't be said for actresses.
I wonder where he's seen me. Must have seen my baked beans commercial.
He certainly is living up to his name. You know, this late logic, wooden dialogue. Ledford.
You guys, come on, you're acting like kids. Let's just concentrate on this one show, and then we can go home and take. It's only just one performance after all.
Well, what do you think of it, Frank, as a plan? Come on now, honest opinion.
It's not bad. It's pretty good for a first effort, actually. I think it deserves a showing.
Hey, do you think if I wrote him his letter saying how absolutely terrific his play is, he'd ask me to be in his next one?
No.
I did that once, you know. I just finished playing
by the way, Kate, I already told the boys, but you are rushing the first scene. Where Brian has to go into the kitchen, give him more time, because he's got to get into the freezer and all that other stuff. At the moment, he's in and out like a yo-yo. So just, give the plot points more space, more air. Play with it. It's all you got. So that's the way it goes.
Well, that's not right, can't refuse.
But Derek, that last scene with me, Brian and Sophie, know about where we left off. You're hamming it a bit, old man. Yeah, I know the facilities here are a bit primitive, but the next time you slice the liquor cake, do not say, "Hang on in there, generator," okay? Please.
You didn't like it?
Not at all.
It's a line from Death Trap I did last year at York. I thought it was appropriate.
Well, that's maybe, but really, I'd rather you didn't have lived at all. Somehow, I don't think Mr. Ledwood would appreciate your tampering with his lines. Besides, I've checked the lighting board. With any luck, they won't flicker at all anymore. Angela?
No, it's me.
Yeah. Well,
Well, this place is incredible. There are endless corridors and they're all full of suits of armor, swords, anti-pistols. There's even a Persian tapestry.
So it's a Sotheby's depository, dear. What about Angela?
Not a sign, she's vanished.
oh hell. Well, go put the kettle on, would you?
Have you ever noticed that when a director can't think of a positive instruction to give their stage manager, they always send them to make tea?
Yeah, I could do with something stronger.
Right. Now, we're coming up to the storm sequence in this next scene. Derek, this time, please remember, do not panic too soon. In that last run through, just like all the others, you're always anticipating you're going to be shot. Just let it come as a surprise to the audience.
It's okay, I'll go.
I hate when women do that.
And I looked in the mirror by mistake.
Yeah, it's not like you care. She could be hurt for all we know.
This place was haunted.
Sit her down, Frank, quick.
What happened, Cam? What's wrong? What happened? Don't just stand there, Derek. Come on, help me out. Cam, has anybody got any brandy, scotch, anything like that?
Irish whiskey?
That is not funny, Derek.
Don't go away.
What happened?
How should I know? It's all right, man. You're gonna be okay.
Well, where is Martin?
I don't know. He disappeared around the back again somewhere. What's that?
Some of Pamela's coffee, or so she has us believe, smells more like Lavoisier 4-star to me.
God, it looks like you've seen a ghost.
It's Angela. She's lying stretched out on the stage management floor.
She's dead.
What?
Good God, she's been strangled.
Strangled? Oh, come on. There must be some mistake here. Who wants
No mistake. Felt her pulse. Dead, all right?
I can't believe it, Angela.
I wouldn't go in there if I were you.
Deep red marks on her neck. And her eyes. Oh my God, her eyes.
I don't think any of us should go in there until the police arrive.
Police?
Yes.
Do we have to?
Oh, come on, Derek. We can't just ignore it. It's not going to go away.
Okay, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking.
Is anybody home at all?
No. I don't even know what the phone is if there is one.
Well, don't you think one of you should go and phone?
Well, it could be.
Well, Martin obviously is not to it.
Okay, all right. I will go. Kate, take care of family, please. Phone is probably in the hall where we came in.
Derek, you go with me.
No thanks.
I can take care of myself.
Here, Martin, brandy.
Did you know Angela before, Martin?
A little.
Did she have any enemies?
No. Oh, everybody loves her.
Oh, what makes you think he's loose in the house? It could be one of you.
That's ridiculous.
Is it so ridiculous? There's no one else here, is there? In the theater, in the house?
Have some more brandy.
Don't patronize me, Kate.
I'm not patronizing you.
Well, then don't change the subject. None of you liked her. Oh, okay, she was forgetful at times. Still make fun of her behind her back. None of you loved her.
That's just not true.
Look, Pamela, we've all had a terrible shock, especially you. It's not making no invitation to Derek and I were on stage when Angela disappeared. You told us that you were a kid. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's true.
That's not exactly true, Derek. You three were on stage when Angela failed to appear. That's not exactly the same thing. She could have been straight. Well, it could have happened earlier. That's right.
Why would any of us want to kill Angela?
Yeah, 10 days ago, none of us knew her. Or each other, come to that.
Martin knew her, he said so.
I liked her.
Let's just cool it and wait for the police to arrive, shall we?
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Give you time to invent an alibi.
I don't need to invent an alibi.
Well, one of you does.
Oh, you exclude yourself this little scenario dream?
I know, I didn't do it.
Ha!
Derek, please.
You're such an analytical mind, Pam, doing stupid timed crosswords. You're dumb all these days.
Derek, leave the poor girl alone. Let her have her say if she wants to.
Okay, now look, Pamela, just what is it you're trying to say?
The last time I saw Angela was the end of the first scene, her exit with Derek. That's about 10 minutes from her next entrance, which is where we stopped. Any one of you might have killed her in that time.
That is
Now
ridiculous.
look, Derek, in theory, Pamela.
Now listen.
In theory. Pam, we eliminate angels one by one. Will that make you feel any better? Okay, Derek.
What?
You and Angela left the stage together. It would appear you had the first opportunity.
What did you do, the two of you, after you got off stage?
I'm not to answer that question.
Look, Derek, no one's accusing you of anything, all right? Just trying to put Pam's mind at rest. Go on.
Fine, you must know. I went down to my dressing room, I had a costume change, remember? And Angela was behind me the whole way, I don't know where she went.
And?
Well, I went into my dressing room, I took off my coat and my shoes, then I put on my robe and my slippers. I sat down, I looked at the script, I wrote all my lines for the next scene. Then I heard the music for the scene change, I went up to the wings, and I came right on stage. And yes, when you asked me the next question, I was alone the whole time. I saw nobody, and nobody saw me. So that would have given me what? 3 minutes? Is that what you want to hear, Pamela? Does that put your mind at rest?
Derek, please.
3 minutes. It's hardly enough time to kill a cat.
Not necessarily. Not if you know the right pressure points on the neck. I'll be over in a matter of seconds. She wouldn't have even have screamed. Even a woman could have done it. But don't look at me like that. It's just something I picked up. Not saying I put into any practice.
Oh, yeah? Well, where were you, Martin?
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Well, we're all ears, dear boy.
I'm on stage the whole time. I'm at the end of scene 1, the beginning of scene 2. During the scene change, I simply took off my jacket, loosened my tie, and sat down on the couch. Oh, I put some makeup on my face first. It's in my jacket if you'd like to check. And Pam covered me with a blanket, and I found discovered when the lights go on.
Pam?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so that's Martin off the hook. Now, what about you? Even a woman can do it.
I was in the corner all the time.
Oh, really?
Of course she was, Derek. Do you think the lights go on and off themselves?
Except during the scene change, of course. I was on stage changing the props. It was just a few glasses. I closed the curtains on the French windows and put the blanket over Martin. Then I went back to the corner, set the next lighting cue, and stood by to run the cue. Martin was here the whole time.
You make me feel really good, you know that? What about you, Kate? Come on, surprise me.
I was in the corner operating the sound tape. Pamela loves for that.
Great. We've all got alibis for each other except for yours truly here.
That's not strictly true, Derek. If it will make you feel any better, as soon as scene 2 had begun, I went back to my dressing room. I was alone. Nobody saw me. I was there, what, 5 minutes before you and Frank found yourselves treading a treacle.
Okay. Well, now, what book were you reading?
I don't have to answer that.
What, I can't remember?
It's called Beyond Belief.
That just about sums up this whole situation.
How can you make fun at a time like this?
So we have to get through this day somehow.
Well, what about Frank? What were his movements?
Does anybody know?
Well, now that you mention it, it's rather odd.
What was?
Well, Frank's on the same time I am. The end of scene 1 and the beginning of scene 2. During the scene change, he disappeared off stage rather quickly.
Yeah, that's right. He brushed past me as I came on with the blanket.
I remember he didn't get back until the last moment. I thought he was going to be on. Well, eventually he did run in. He loosened his tie, tossed his hair, flopped down in the chair. He knows that Frank had been sleeping. He was out of breath, though, I remember, because I thought to myself, how would the audience believe he'd be sleeping if he's out of breath?
So that would have given him, what, a minute and a half?
The scene change was 2 minutes. I timed it.
The 2-minute murderer, I wonder.
For God's sake, here we are. All suspecting each other of being scheming psychopaths. I mean, the guy was probably taken short and had to go to the bathroom.
Hey, when you went to your dressing room, Angela wasn't there, right?
No.
Didn't you think it a bit strange at the time, seeing how she had a quick change too?
So?
Well, weren't you a little curious? She wasn't there?
No, why should I? This is the first time we've done the plain costume. I didn't know what she intended to wear, let alone where she's going to do the change. Maybe in the wings, I don't know.
She already had it on.
She had changed?
Yes, I suppose that lengthens your odds a bit. Well, she must have changed during the scene change. That was your only opportunity.
Yeah, that's true.
And Frank's too come to that.
Wait a minute. Are we forgetting something? Now, when Angela was off, Frank sent Pamela to look for her, right? I've given her about 10 minutes. That's plenty enough time to kill Angela and a fake discovery of her body.
Did you think
Now
I
look,
would have...
Derek. Then why did she miss her entrance if she wasn't killed until later?
That question will have to remain unanswered for the moment. Well, now, where does that leave us? If you're an intern prosecutor, I didn't say that Mark here was rank outside. He had no opportunity to go, right? And as for Freddie and I with the minute and a half, I'd say good 21 odds for us. Now then there's Kate. 5 minutes or more, wasn't it? I'd say 3 to 1 odds for you, Katie dear. Now the odds on favor in my book is our Pamela with 10 minutes. Is that what you want to do, Pamela? Is that what your mind rests?
Are we forgetting someone?
Who?
Arthur Ledwood.
Why would Arthur Ledwood want to kill Angela?
Why should any of us want to kill Angela? The moment motive is not our strong suit, whichever way you look at it.
No, I don't buy that.
Well, why not? Here we are accusing each other, and the most obvious candidate is this illustrious employer of ours.
But why?
He has to tie in someone.
Why would he want to kill Angela with all 6 of us around? You want to murder someone, you lure them to a remote spot, surely, with nobody around.
Well, we're not exactly witnesses. None of us saw him do it.
But we are all here to testify to the fact that it was he who brought us here. As soon as the police arrive, we tell them why we're here. Bingo. Ledwood is arrested, case solved. We could not be that stupid.
I'm not saying that he is that stupid, but right now we have no proof that he's even been here.
Unless...
What?
Nothing, I was just thinking aloud.
Unless what, Martin?
Well, unless he's lured us all here, hasn't he? On our own, no one else around.
You mean he wants to kill all 6 of us?
No, I didn't say that.
Starting with Angela? That's absurd!
That was in no way intended as a serious suggestion.
I'm not so sure.
Oh, Derek, come on!
No, I mean, why do you want us to do this play anyway? In his own house, his own theater, for only one performance.
He wrote the play. He wanted to see it performed. That's natural enough. What about his friends in the audience? More witnesses?
That's the point. The audience, they should all be here soon.
How do we know there's going to be an audience? How do we know anyone's going to show up? Perhaps just an audience of one.
Then why us?
Exactly, why us? Frank didn't catch us, did he? I mean, Ledwood chose each and every one of us right down Pamela's estate plan. Now, if he's got it in for us, for whatever reason, then what better way than get us all alone together without rousing our suspicions and give us jobs during the play? His play.
But what should he have against us? None of us know or have ever heard of him before.
Oh, Frank knows him? Well, doesn't he?
Frank must have met him.
Or has he?
What do you mean?
Frank never mentioned it. The original offer came by postscript too.
So Frank's never.
But Frank must have.
Look, we're all jumping far too many conclusions. Just wait for Frank to get back. I'm sure he can vouch for Ledwood 100%.
Derek, you've been reading too many detective stories.
More like too many plays.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Let's just wait for Frank to get back to the police and let them sort it out.
Oh, what do you mean by too many plays?
Well, it's the domino man, isn't it? A group of people are lured to a remote Italian villa, they are all killed. A group of actors are lured to a remote country house, they're all whatever. It's a play, that's all. That's what put it in your mind. It's not a suggestion, that's all.
What is it, Pam?
I've just had a horrible thought.
What?
In the play, Angela's character is the last to die.
So?
So? How does she die in the play?
She's strangled.
Coincidence.
Oh, is it? When we were offered this job, did anyone teach me on heard this Arthur Ledwood?
No.
Well, mine neither, Martin.
Oh, I don't think so. I didn't ask.
that in the Franks paid our money in advance, and that means that equity hadn't met him either. And isn't it a union rule that if equity hasn't had previous dealings with an employer, then they must pay the deposit? Isn't that right?
I believe so, yes.
So it appears that nobody in the business has ever heard of this Arthur Legwood. Isn't that comforting?
Why do we have to sit here talking about it? Why can't we all just leave?
Frank will be back with the police, and I don't think they'd appreciate it if we all suddenly fled the scene of the crime. Some more brandy?
No.
I'd like some.
Martin, where did you know Angela before?
I met her in Australia, working in Sydney. We bumped into each other a few times.
Did you know her well?
No,
You didn't get together, as it were?
Quickie affair, eh?
she isn't. She wasn't like that.
Yeah, well, how do we know that's true?
You just have to take my word for it, won't you?
Did you know her husband?
No, I didn't know her that well. It's none of my business. Was she even married?
She wore a wedding ring.
Yeah, well, perhaps she was Mrs. Arthur
Have
Legwood.
you no respect for the dead?
Look,
Think Frank's been gone long enough? Should one of us go look for him?
large house. Maybe you can't find a phone.
Yeah, maybe he's a murderer and he's made a run for it.
Oh, come on, Derek.
Or maybe he's out there waiting for one of us to go look for him.
Well, the 2-minute murder, you mean?
It's possible.
Well, possibilities are endless.
On the other hand, if Legwood is our man, maybe Frank's already dead.
Wait a minute. We're all jumping far too many conclusions. I say one of us should go and find Frank and find the phone too.
Oh, so he or she can end up dead as well? As you say, the possibility is endless.
Well, if you think I'm going down those corridors, only to be left on by some 7-foot suit of armor wielding a ball and chain, you've got another thing coming. Count me out.
Why can't we all go?
I'm not budging from this spot until the police arrive. I think one of you knights in shining armor should go and find Frank, and the others stay here and protect us poor females. Off you go, Derek.
Wait a minute. I think this all boils down to who we can trust to not leave the sinking ship. Now, Legwood is the odds-on favorite in my book, and Frank's odds are surely short, and I may have moved out the building a little bit also. But Mark has Frank outside. I think that he should go. Somehow I think that he would come back. What do you say?
Sort it out between you. I don't care.
It's okay, I'll go.
Spoken like a true hero. Why don't you go with him, Pam? You're so keen.
Do not leave me alone with him.
I don't know what to think. I'm scared. I'll do whatever Kate wants.
I'll be back as quickly as I can.
Here, come on, take this. It's real, might as well.
I've always wondered what that yellow streak was down your back, Derek.
So right now I'm more concerned with my neck and its preservation. If that means being as powerless, so be it.
What do you think happened to poor Angela?
I don't know. I really don't know. And at this moment in time, I don't want to know. All I want is for those boys in blue to come charging in on their white horses and take us all away from this.
Maybe Frank did get through the police and told away by the main entrance or something.
I dearly hope so.
Maybe. I don't know. Am I building this up into something that it isn't? I keep referring back to this play, the down on him. We start this dress rehearsal and, well, Angela dies the same way she dies in the play. Is it a coincidence? Does it really mean something?
It means you're going around in circles. You're forgetting something. At the end of the play, your murder is fake. You reappear. You are the murderer, remember?
You don't think that thought ever occurred to me? That, of course, is where the parallel ends.
Does it?
I certainly didn't kill Angela, and I don't have any intention of killing any of you.
Lucky for you, I think this connection with the play is off the wall anyway. I don't think you have the guts to kill anybody.
Well, I'd still say the connections with the play are, shall we say, intriguing.
Nevertheless, I'd feel happier if you stayed on that side of the stage, if you don't mind.
As you wish. Brandy and water?
No, thank you.
Or would you prefer some 100% proof bird sugar water?
That'll do, Derek.
Oh, of course, it's laced with cyanide, isn't it?
What was that? Oh, gosh.
It's
What
okay.
happened?
All right. I got as far as the staircase. The light on the stairwell wasn't working. I tripped, hit my head on the banister. The tripwire across the top step. The bottom was Frank. He's dead.
Oh my God, no.
His neck is broken.
fumbling about me, his neck is broken.
It can't be true.
I only wish it were.
Yes, Edward, there's no other explanation. It has to be him.
Look, Derek.
What, you think Frank's gonna box right now?
Martin, some more brandy.
Still think the plate or connection with the plate is off the wall? It's getting a little bit too close for comfort, if you ask me.
God, it's hot in here.
Couldn't we do something about these lights?
We could put on the working lights, I suppose.
Okay.
Martin, would you?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think I can go up there. The main switch is right above the power tape. To the right are 3 smaller switches. Those are the working lights.
Want to hear something funny? I said, you want to hear something funny? I am the only one of us that's going to kill it. Do you realize that? I am the only one of us that's going to kill it tonight. And then we start this dress rehearsal, and end of scene 1, Jennifer is suffocated with a pillow. And then end of scene 2, Brian here is poisoned with cyanide. Then right about his date, races this gruffle counters about to be shot in the head. The play grinds to a halt. And then our mysterious Arthur Legwood decides to take his plot and put it into reverse. Only this time for real. Angela's strangled for real. Frank's neck is broken for real. And any minute now, yours truly's got his brains blown out for real. Don't you find that hysterical?
In the play, your murder is fake. You are the murderer, remember?
I'm here to tell you, little lady, in the next 30 minutes, my grave man has spun over his head. Sure as hell I give her no faith.
Well, what about Pam? She's not in the play. There are 6 murders and there's 5 of us.
6 murders. In the play, Connie Snow. It's found next to the body of a dead fox. Pamela Fox.
That's absurd. That's just
Of
ridiculous.
course it's ridiculous. All of this is ridiculous. Don't start looking for logic, man, because you won't find any.
I still say it could be one of you.
Oh, who'd you have in mind? We're all here with Frank Potter, remember?
Well, except Martin.
Oh, he's the only one of us who could have killed Frank. He's also the only one of us who could not have killed Angela. What, does that leave you 2 murderers? I don't think so.
Why not you then?
I was here, I tell you.
You could have set up that tripwire any time since we arrived. Once the dress rehearsal started, the scene between Martin and Kate.
So could any of us. Any one of us could have set that fire. And got the phone, too.
Phone? You found a phone?
Yeah, I found the phone. Downstairs in the hall, the cord ripped out.
Same as in the play. In the hallway with the cord ripped out of the floor.
And van, it's gone.
What?
Van, it's not in the driveway, it's gone.
That does it. I think I'm waiting on here to be blown to kingdom come. You're very much mistaken. I'm getting out of here.
Look, Derek, these halls are filled with weapons, including antique pistols.
Fine, I'll go up to the theater then.
You can't. The doors are barred from the outside. I tried to go exploring before the rehearsal. There's no way out.
Look, whichever way we go, we've got to stick together and be very careful. Whoever set that trap for Frank could just as easily do it for any of us. Now, firstly, we've got to... Switch. Like for us, the stage lights are on a different circuit.
The blackouts from the end of scene 2.
I know. Pam, do we have a flashlight anywhere?
It's in the van.
Great. Now how do we get out of here?
What do we do? There's got to be something. You must think.
Okay, we've got to think fast. All of us.
Think.
Everyone we harmed. Or we wrote remotely in the past. God, that's your line from the play.
But Derek's murder is fake. He is the murderer.
For God's sake, I swear I had nothing to do with this. Believe me, for God's sake, I'm telling the truth.
Look. So we accept that Ledwood is here. Why is he doing this? Why is he playing games with us?
My God! I'm about to be shot in the head. You go playing games?
Look, Derek. no more of yourself. That blackout comes at the end of scene 2, not long after you're supposedly shot. You've got to think straight. We're all to get out of here, and I mean all, and we've got to stick together.
Okay, well, what can we do? How do we stop him?
Okay. Let's see. If he does want to kill us, why is he doing it this way? Why is he going through this elaborate performance?
He's a madman. He must be a sadist.
Right out there watching us right now, enjoying every minute of it.
Why go through all this trouble? Why arrange for us all to come here, perform this play, stop it after a few scenes, and then kill us all in a manner of play? It's all too easy.
Easy, my God!
It's easy, too easy for us to find out what he's doing. Well, it took us a while. We're a bit slow on the update. Too busy accusing each other. And he's dropped. We now know what he's doing. He's even laying extra clues for us. Blackout, the telephone. So we now know at any given moment what's going to happen next.
I know what's going to happen next. Don't you seem to care a damn?
So we know. How does that help us? It only makes it worse.
We're missing something. We must be missing something. It must be. Why is he showing his hand? There's some way. Some way we can stop him.
But why is he doing it in reverse?
Well, whichever way he does it, I'm next time you see that, for God's sake, do something.
He's doing the play in reverse. There must be something at the beginning of the play he doesn't want us to hit upon, to discover until it's too late.
It's too late now, damn you!
Save his life. He's giving us a chance to see if we can. He's playing with us, teasing us. What happens in the play before anyone's killed?
There are 5 drinks. The bottles in the cocktail cabinet.
What could they mean? That doesn't lead us anywhere.
There's the note from Conicus.
Confess your sins and you will be saved.
That doesn't mean anything either.
Does it? That's the way we can put a stop to it. In the play, they find the note before anyone's killed, right? So they're given an opportunity to save themselves. They can betray how they wrong Conicus after first discovering who Conicus really is.
I don't follow.
None of them know Conicus. All they know is that he owns the villa and he's arranged for them all to be there.
Yeah, none of us have ever met Ledwood. He owns this house and he's arranged for all of us to be here.
And if Ledwood is the dominant Conicus, then he's also the dominant man, the man in disguise.
It's not Ledwood at all.
Exactly. Someone from our past that we all know, that we all betrayed at one time or another. By doing this play in reverse, we don't get to that note until it's too late. We're all dead.
So, if we can discover his true identity and confess to how we wronged him, then he'll spare us.
But in the play, they never find out who Conicus is.
We'll just have to try that much harder than they did, won't we? Ledwood wants revenge. He'll be happy to kill us all. And he'll be just as happy to watch us torturing ourselves trying to find out who he is. Hence this elaborate charade.
Well, then who is he?
We've got to think fast. Now, come on, all of us.
Everybody in the car.
Yes. Okay. How does Ledwood Conicus fit into the play? Okay. He's rich and he owns the villa.
Ledwood's rich.
He owns his house.
And the theater that goes with it. What if he is something to do with the business after all?
What about you ladies? Not happy love affair or something?
Oh, darling, too many to count.
I once had a car accident. The other driver was badly hurt and he was paralyzed. But it wasn't my fault. I swear it wasn't my fault.
What was his name?
He came out of a side street suddenly. I didn't even see him.
Pamela, what was his name?
Courtney, I think. Yes, George Courtney.
Doesn't mean anything to me. Anyone else?
No.
Derek?
I can't think straight. Can't think straight.
Well, I was engaged to be married once. A long time ago. He was a struggling actor at the time. Well, I'm afraid I jilted him right at the last moment. The day before the ceremony, to be precise. He pestered me for months and months to go back to him. I just told him to get lost. Well, I've regretted it ever since, of course. And he's now a very rich man.
Kate?
It can't be him. He's devious, yes. And almost certainly a crook. But this?
What was his name?
Howard Delantour.
We all know of him. He certainly fits the bill.
But did you know him personally? Any of you in the past?
I knew him.
Pam? Yes.
Derek?
Of course, everybody knows Howard did a tour, but I never met the man.
20 years ago, Howard and I were both straight out of drama school. There were a bunch of us up for a part in the TV series. Young boy, late teens. It was a year's work, a lot of money. Finally got down to the two of us, me and Howard. Stayed that way for a fortnight. God, those were the longest 2 weeks of my life. I was young and ambitious, and I sent a letter to the director of the series, supposedly from Howard's agent, saying he'd gotten another offer. Well, I got the job. I don't know if the letter had anything to do with it. Howard never spoke to me again. I always thought he knew.
It can't be him, okay? It has to be somebody else. I've never had any dealings with him. It has to be somebody else.
I was company manager on the first tour that Howard ever put on the road. I also did the bookkeeping. Business was bad, not disastrous, but poor. At the end of the 8th week, $25,000 was missing. Howard couldn't pay the cast. The tour folded, and as a result, Howard lost another $5,000 in various claims. I'd taken the money, the $25,000. I falsified the account. Howard knew all right. He accused me to my face. But of course he couldn't prove anything. He was very clever. Needless to say, I've never worked for him since. Until now, that is.
You all dead or something? Would you quit harping about this Howard did tour? It has to be somebody else, okay? It has to be.
You must have made a mistake. Think again.
I tell you, I've never met this dude! It has to be somebody else, okay? It has to be.
I wonder what Angela and Frank did to him.
We shall never know.
Angela and I were talking once during rehearsals. Howard's name came up in the conversation. She said, "I never want to hear that man's name again." Now I know what she meant.
Howard did it to her. He disappeared a number of weeks ago, right? He probably South Africa, Australia or someplace. How could it possibly be him?
He said his company was in trouble owing a lot of money.
So Howard does an Amelia Earhart. Typical.
If you still have any lingering doubts, Derek, take a look.
What is it?
Arthur Ledwood and Howard Delatour.
What is an anagram of the other?
Well, this is not possible. This is just not possible.
Look, Derek, you must be mistaken. What happened between you two?
Come on, Derek. If you didn't know, your wife certainly did.
No! No.
Look, Rebecca and I were working together. She confided in me. She was having an affair with Howard.
That is not true, I tell you. That's just not true.
Look, I'm sorry if you didn't know, but this is no time for niceties.
Look, Derek, we know what Howard did to you. Now tell us, what did you do to him?
Nothing! I didn't do anything!
For pity's sake, Derek, tell us. It need go no further.
No! No!
Oh my God! It's a storm from the second sea.
Listen, Derek, we're back in the play now. This is a storm. There's lightning outside the window.
No!
Listen to me, Derek. This is where you were shot, remember? Now you've got to think straight. You've got to tell us now what you did to Howard openly, or it will be too late. Howard will kill you.
No! No!
Tell us what you did to him. Confess to him, Derek. Ask his forgiveness.
No!
Confess to him, Derek. Then you'll stop now.
No, Howard, I killed you! I killed you, Howard!
How can that be? He's here, Derek.
That means I killed him again in my house. I killed him. I hit him again and again. I killed him. I buried him in my garden. I buried him in my own bare hands. Rebecca, I couldn't help myself.
Don't worry. You're both quite safe.
Frank, what's happening?
Well, as you can see, I am very much alive.
Frank's gonna have to be real, Derek. But I'm afraid this one is.
How did that gun get there?
I put it there during the first scene. Couldn't carry it around with me. I thought I might need it. Now I'm not so sure.
Would something mind telling me what the hell is going on?
I'm afraid that I am Arthur Ledwood. At least I'm responsible for everything that's happened here this evening.
You mean you knew? You knew Derek had killed Howard?
Yes, I knew. So as sure as any man could be, but I couldn't prove he'd done a thing.
You mean this was a trap to make him confess?
Well, in a way, yes. The confession was not enough. We needed to know what he'd done with Howard's body. Without that, we couldn't prove a thing.
You know, there were times I thought he'd never crack, but
But he did. Perhaps you ladies would like to sit down.
I don't think we quite realized what sort of effect it would have on you or us for that matter. Truly, I'm sorry to be frightening.
another way, believe me, I would have tried it.
But what has this got to do with you? Either of you?
Perhaps I should explain.
I think perhaps you should.
Well, my name, as you've probably gathered, is not Arthur Redwood, but it is Martin Delatour. Howard was my brother. Well, beginning, I've spent the last 10 years in Australia trying to eke out a living in the theater. Well, I just came back to this country 3 months ago. Now, Howard and I were never very close. Well, he's my brother. So we arranged to meet, got together, had a night on the town, told me about the financial troubles his company was in, amongst other things, that he was having an affair with Rebecca Watson, Derek's wife. Well, by then she'd left him and was living on her own. Howard said that Derek had caught them together and threatened to kill him. He even laughed about it. Well, we decided to come over to my place the next Sunday. We parted. That was on the Monday. Thursday I was in town for a job interview. So I rang Howard and says, come over for a drink. He said, no. He's out to meet the cuckold at a place called Chelsea. His very words. He said, see you Sunday. Rang off. The cuckold, they took me to Derek, but a place called Chelsea? Everyone knows Chelsea. Why refer to it as a place? I didn't understand. Well, the next day, Howard had disappeared. Nobody knew where he was. I never heard or saw from Howard again. Sunday came and went, still no Howard. Well, I decided to find this Derek Watson. See if he knew what happened to Howard. He seemed to be the last person who'd seen him. Well, I found out where he lived and went around there. About 100 yards away from his house was a pub called the Chelsea. Put two and two together. Howard had been there the night before. That Lord remembered them both. They had been arguing quite violently and they left together. Well, I went to the police and told them what I knew, but they dismissed the whole idea. As far as they were concerned, Howard had his case selected, would have done him a million haircuts. I wasn't satisfied. So I hired a private detective for a day. Only one day, that's all I could afford. Followed Derek. He went nowhere in particular, and yet he went everywhere. He wandered around the streets of London. Very frightened and nervous man, I was told. Every once in a while, he'd stop into a pub, order large whiskey, hands shaking so much he could hardly lift a glass. Every time he saw a police officer, he'd dart into a side alley or doorway. Hardly the behavior of an innocent man. Seemed only one explanation. Derek had done away with Howard. The question was how and where. Frank, would you mind?
I can assure you, Derek, this gun is real.
So, I decided to lay a trap for him. Angela and Frank agreed to help. By the way, Frank's a true and trusted friend from way back.
Besides, Howard also owed me a good deal of money, so I had what you might call a vested interest in the outcome of tonight's performance.
So I hatched my elaborate plot. But at the time, it didn't seem too elaborate at all. It just fell into place. This house did belong to Howard. He told me about it the night he was dead. Said if ever Angela and I wanted to come down for a weekend, we could make ourselves at home. Oh, my wife Angela.
I called the police, they're on their way.
Angela, but...
This theater, Howard bragged about it the night we met. Rich man's story, he called it. The set was indeed already here. Domino Man is a play I'd written several years ago. It's never been performed. It's not that good of a play, as you all pointed out on more than one occasion. Well, we decided to stage a professional performance. 3 of us could appear in it with Frank directing. The most important thing, though, was to get Derek to play the part of David Lacey. We waited for 6 weeks, gave him time to gather himself together. He was reluctant at first, but Frank managed to persuade him. And then the next thing we had to do was get 2 other people. One person to stage manage, one person to play the part of Jennifer. There had to be 2 people without any grudges against Howard, and they had to be available for the job. There's a long list, I can tell you. But we chose you 2. Once the 3 of you had agreed to do the play, we're set to go.
But Angela, I saw you! The red marks on your neck and your eyes.
Just make a fun thing.
And she's a good actress when she tries.
That was our first difficult moment. I thought you'd check everywhere except the stage management room.
In the end, I had to send you to make tea, man, remember?
But how'd you know we connect us all with Howard?
I didn't. It had to be a gradual process. Oh, I had to lead you here and there, but for the most part, you all did the hard work for me. especially Derek. He did turn out to be a murderer. Not the murderer you were looking for, but the murderer we were looking for.
But the storm and the blackout and Connor's voice.
Angela and Frank. That's why I had to put the play in reverse. I had to have those two be killed first, so I can enlist their services. Again, ladies, my apologies. Not that there'll be much left after all the debts are paid. But Howard's life was heavily insured to my knowledge. I'm the only beneficiary. Perhaps we could work out a little danger money.
Well, in the past 3 hours, I've been shocked, frightened, terrified. It practically wet my pants. But all in all, I've probably had one of the most exciting evenings of my life. How can you say that?
I've been terrified out of my wits. They used us. They both must have had no right.
Oh, come on, Pam. You're not a saint yourself, you know. Howard may have been a charlatan, but you embezzled him out of $25,000. Remember? You start making complaints to the police, and that's how you creep into the conversation. Quite a dot, Martin.
I see no reason why anyone should have to know about that. And if they don't know, they can't ask you to pay it back.
Well, there you are, Pam. Come along, old girl. If I know Howard, he's got a well-stocked bar around this house. And I'm gonna get you blind drunk.
Not so fast, nobody move! If anybody's gonna be getting blind drunk, it's gonna be me. A long, long way away from here. You're very clever, Martin. I never meant to kill Howard. This sort of happened. It doesn't mean I hesitate to kill any of you. I mean it, kid. I have nothing to lose now.
Hold it, Derek. Too much is blinking, I'll shoot.
You fired for me and I fired your wife.
Vice versa. Fortunately for one of us, only one of these guns has real bullets. Why don't you just save us a lot of trouble? Are you prepared to take that risk? Kate, would you mind? Derek! Derek! Don't worry, you won't get far.
Why didn't you shoot?
With what, blank cartridges?
You mean he
Real bullets?
I mean, either gun had real bullets. They're both full of blanks.
Martin, I may be totally wrong. I never thought you had it in you. Suddenly, I've acquired an overwhelming desire for some of Pamela's coffee. You are a lucky girl, Angela. Here's to you, Mr. Domino Man.